Hi, welcome to Tuesday's Table Talk. Today we have with us Robin and Shelley and myself. I'm Sandy. We are excited to have you here with us. Let's see. I'm going to start out by telling you that there's been a lot of questions during our October stitch along. There will not be a November stitch along. Last year I did December, so you can find that pattern on our website. I will only do one stitch along a year, and we've done it for October. I need some time designing to work on our quilt mystery that we're going to be doing. So we won't be doing a November stitch along, but there are lots of fun things you can do for November. So I'm going to show you one of those. So I'll start first with my projects and then we'll move on to you gals. This is the November typography kit. For those that are in the club, that kit has been shipped to our club members, and the patterns are available on our website. And we've had some people in the club asking about how they get their ribbons to look like mine. So at the end of this video, we are going to I'm going to show you what I do with my ribbons to kind of give them that look. But so that was my finish, was November. And then I'll show you a couple other things. Now, these are not my recent finishes. Last year for Christmas, I made stockings for my daughter. And so I thought I'd share these with you, because if you're going to do stockings, you want to kind of get a jump on it because you want those out. So this one is a stocking. It's the Nativity stocking, Oh Holy Night. And this is by a company called Cheswick that I found. And I love her stocking patterns. They're just like heirloom. So I did mine in 100% wool. I did that one. I did for her fiance this one here with the Santa. And for his daughter, my little granddaughter, I did this one with the little girl sleeping in the bed. And then for my daughter, I did Santa. Here comes Santa here. So these were really fun, and I added some beads and sequins here and there and just kind of had fun with those. So that was my project that I did last year. I have one to do this year for her new little boy, Leo. So I've got to get that one going.
They turned out so cute.
They are.
So I did mine in 100% wool. But her pattern calls for, and it's less expensive option, is to do it in the wool felt. And we carry wool felt here. So they're still a good quality because wool felt is so much nicer than craft felt. So if you're not familiar with the difference between your craft felt and your wool felt, there's really no comparison. The wool felt has a wool in the fiber, and it just is a really nice, durable product.
It's nice to work with.
And it's really nice to work with.
Yeah.
Really nice to embroider. So this is one that is done in the wool felt. So you can see you can do them really in both ways. So those are my finishes to share, although finished last year. So. Hey, Robin, what have you been working on?
Well, I have still being slow with my back, so I have just been cross stitching. So I have had fun working on my stitch along. I'm a little behind, but that's all right. I'm still going.
Further than I am.
I'm still doing, right? And then the other one, this is why this is not so far along, is because I have started on this adorable, it's like Christmas time now, you know, and I don't know.
And what's that pattern?
It is called Jingle All the Way by Little House Needleworks.
And that's a brand new pattern that just came out.
That we just have, and so I'm having fun with that.
And people might not be familiar with this product. Tell us about the scroll rods.
So
these are fabulous.
I love these because I can put the project on my hand. I have a tendency to hold my stuff really tight. And so this way I can kind of just rest it, you know, and, you know, so then you're not, and then I can adjust it. So if I need to see the light behind, you know, sometimes you need the light or whatever.
And so like on this one where it's a bigger design, but you just scroll to the area.
Yeah. So you just, what's so nice is it just scrolls along as you need to move along, and then you just move it this way as you need to go. So
and so you're piece doesn't get wrinkled, it doesn't get creases, it just stays
I feel like
really
I keep it
beautiful.
clean, you know, and then
And
easy
it keeps
to
it
transport.
blocked as well. If you've got your fabric on the grain when you cut it and you put it on your scroll frames, it just stays nice and even.
And
You might hear the blower outside in our video because they're blowing the leaves outside our store. So
It's
happy fall.
happy fall.
Yes,
That's right.
exactly.
Awesome. Great. Okay, Shelly, what have you got?
Okay, so I just have one thing. I'm like, I'm finished with everything I'm doing. I gotta start some new projects.
That's
Anyway,
always
so
fun.
this is the bag I showed a couple of weeks ago, so I finally got it finished.
Awesome.
And so, just so you know, that is called the Crescent Tote, is the name of that.
I
And
like
that's
this-
the fabrics that we had chosen
that
for
off-center
that.
zipper, I think that's just
Yeah.
really cute.
That made it kind of fun. And then, don't know if I should show you the inside, but we just did a solid on the inside. Just simple and easy, and it does have a zipper in there. So anyway, that is that.
And this is a fun fabric that's got some good weight
kind of
to
a
it.
linen,
Yeah.
heavy linen. Yeah, so that's fun there.
Awesome.
So,
Okay, so we had some questions.
Yeah, you have questions from me. So like I will say I'm a newcomer of like coming back to sewing again. And then the other day I was reading this article from one of the magazine telling us that you should be cleaning your machine every 10 hours of your sewing, which I'm really bad at it because I touch it every like once a week, and then that's like 3 hours, and then I just forget about it. And how about you guys? What are your experience or maintaining I guess
Maintaining our
the
machines?
maintenance of your machine or
very
cleaning?
poorly.
So I have a funny story
I
to
blow
share.
the lint out of the
Yeah.
bobbin. That's about all. I mean, you shouldn't even blow. But
So I have a funny story to share that was shared by me by Fran at Village Dry Goods in Brigham City. So a customer had gone in to have her sewing machine maintained by one of the sewing machine dealers, and when she got it back, she's like, they didn't put this pad back in. There was a pad under my feed dogs, and he forgot to put that in. Well, what she thought was a pad was actually built up, packed in lint.
oh,
And she thought it was supposed to be there, and he's like, no, that doesn't
that does not belong
in your
there.
machine. But it's surprising how quickly lint gets inside.
So fast. I try to every time I start a new project. I'm not a 10-hour girl because if I had to do it every 10 hours, I'd be like every day cleaning out my machine because I literally love sewing. But I try to when I start a new project. But what I found that works really good to get the lint out, for me, I use pipe cleaners. Just the cheap old pipe cleaners because you can bend them and you can get them down in there. And it's surprising. It's surprising how much can collect so fast. Make sure to use, like when I switched and use the high quality thread so that you don't get as much lint. But you just bend it like
just
that.
bend it and just kind of wrap
don't be
it
afraid to
so
shove
it
it
stays
in.
in there, and
Because
I do the same thing.
as
Yep, it makes
often,
it
I'll
easier.
still get like a ball of that much.
Yeah.
So-
And we have these little Oh So Clean. These are by It's So Emma.
Oh, those are cute.
And these are just little brushes for getting down. This one has like long bristles to get in.
Because it's surprising, because I always like you lower your feed dogs, get down in under there, and because you want to make sure because it will help with your machine being its best. Like my machine, I don't have to oil.
Yeah.
But I do. So then when I do that, I try to change the needle. I'm probably a little bit more bad at that, but you can tell when you need to change your needle.
And
Because it kind of like, it's fighting to get through.
Yeah.
It makes the clunk and the clunk.
And I've heard some people say that, like, if you're making a quilt, you should be changing your needle each project.
Yeah.
Each project you should have start with a fresh needle, and I think that's a good idea. To get started. Not that I always follow that rule.
No,
but it's a good idea in theory.
I try to follow that rule,
Yeah.
but the cleaning, that's my downfall.
And good quality thread.
Good quality
Makes
thread.
a big difference. So
Makes a huge difference.
my favorite thread is Aurifil.
That's what I like too.
My machine loves it, and it for lint it just doesn't.
I use the percents,
Percent.
for some reason my machine doesn't like the Aurifil.
Yeah.
So.
Mine likes Aurifil, so that's
Our
what I
machines
use.
are touchy.
Yes,
And they,
are.
Aurifil is an expensive thread.
It is,
As
but
far as
it's-
it can be kind of sticker shock when you see it.
Right.
but it lasts forever. There's so much thread on that.
Well, and I was told in a class that it's a little bit thinner thread,
Yes.
so that when you're piecing and you're ironing, then it adds less bulk to your seams.
To your seams.
So
Right, yeah. So I like using that.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, like another question following to that is like, you put your date on changing needles, cleaning machine, oil machine. How often do you do like professional maintenance though?
I honestly don't do professional very often.
I just fixed it when it needs to.
I don't either.
I
I've
kind
had
of-
my machine for 8 years and I've never have taken it in. But yeah,
I think I want to get mine in and just have it professionally cleaned, but I think every couple of years to get it in
Right.
and have it gone through.
probably
Just
should.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
sure.
did mine last year during COVID. Because I took one at a time.
Right.
Because I have 2 machines. So because it's like a 3-week wait sometimes.
Yeah, it can be
And
a way.
who can live without your sewing machine for 3 weeks?
I know, really.
That's a long time.
And I've heard that
Yes.
sewing machines and parts and stuff can be an issue right now with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
That's with all the supply chain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Holly was telling me a story about there was a container ship
Mm-hmm.
that had a load of Bernina sewing machines on a container ship,
I heard this
and
story.
an entire one of those big containers that they bring on those barges went into the sea.
Oh my god.
And I was just like,
Went off the board.
every
Oh,
sewer was like, oh no, no,
right.
my
Hopefully that wasn't there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
So hopefully some mermaid is down there sewing with a weight machine, you know? So,
Awful, yeah.
How about that rule that you talk about? You should change your needle.
yeah, I
Every
just
project-
think that every project is a good idea.
Why is that though?
Because your needles, as you're using them, they'll dull.
They'll dull.
Yeah, you want a nice sharp needle.
Oh.
I notice on my machine, so it has an automatic threader, you know, which, hello, for my old eyes, love that feature.
Right.
But I will notice if for some reason my automatic threader isn't working, that's a key to me that I need to clean out.
Oh.
Because it can be that when I need to take my bobbin out, I need to clean that area out if it's not easily doing that automatic threading. But yeah, if you have a nice new sharp needle. So it's not
Yeah.
that they bend, but they just dull over time.
Because you're going through all that fabric, especially when you have a bunch of seams that you're going through,
Right.
into layers.
Sewing a bag. You have
Right.
a lot of layers.
Oh yeah,
So,
those
yeah.
two. Yeah. Do you use a jean needle when you sew
I
your
don't.
bags?
I just use whatever's on my machine. So when I make my bags, even when I'm sewing on that cork fabric, that one bag, I never changed my needle.
Yeah.
So
People are surprised that sewing on that cork fabric is so easy.
oh,
like
it was.
just
You're
sews
like,
well.
oh my god, it's gonna be so hard, but it was just like fabric. It just
Yeah.
was so easy. Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
It left my mind. Things often do. Can't remember what else I was going to say. But, I was going to show. So I have the finished stitch along project here that has all the blocks done. And I just thought I'd share that the nice thing about this project this time is that it fits
Oh,
in a standard
8.5.
8
nice.
by 10 frame.
8x10. Awesome.
That is
And I was like, awesome.
And it
That
looks
was
so
cool.
cute.
You don't have to,
I
you
like
know.
the black with it. That's
Yeah.
great.
And I just had this picture frame at home and I took it out to see if it would fit. And I was like, ooh, it fits.
There you go.
That's
Oh,
just
cool.
so that's a
Just a
good,
tip.
a nice tip because framing can be expensive. But
Right.
okay, I'm going to now go into how I do my ribbons. So this is what you're getting in your November pack. You've got this wired ribbon. You've got this little, kind of feels like burlap, you know, this green ribbon, and you've got some leaves and your chenille pipe cleaner. So the first thing I did was I threaded my pipe cleaner through my leaf because there's a little hole there from where it was pulled off of the vine. Okay, so I threaded that through. Then I layered. I did my, before I layer, take my biggest ribbon and I fold it in half, the lengthwise, and I just trim so that I get the nice. So fold it in half, go from the center out, and just trim. And you won't want to use your fabric scissors because this has wire in it. So, and then when I've done that, then I layer my other ribbons, put my leaves in the center, and then I just squeeze in tight so that I know I'm on the center, and then I twist in the back. Okay, now this is what it looks like. Well, that's not really cute. You know, it's just kind of flat,
Right.
and doesn't have a lot of character. So what I did was I took and I trimmed it down my green a little bit. And I took it and I like
Pulled it
apart
Oh, that's cute.
so that it gave me this kind of fringy
Right.
effect. So instead of just leaving that plain,
Right.
just open it up and just give it some character there. And then I took the end of the kind of burlappy ribbon and I just tore off some pieces. And actually I'd probably make that a little bit shorter because I want this ribbon to show from behind. So, and then I pulled off a few rows of that so that I get that frayed edge of that for some different texture. Okay. Now, when I put it on my board, I don't leave this out straight like this. I take it and I kind of bend it a little.
That's so cute.
So it just gives it a little more texture, just kind of fun, just play with it. Just, you know,
Like, don't be afraid.
don't be afraid. And leaving it out straight, it just doesn't have the character that if you just kind of bend it, it looks a little more organic, a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do to get the character to your ribbons. If you know, they can be arranged in different ways. You can fray them up, you can do whatever, but so
Give 'em some
that's how I
personality.
get the look of that ribbon on our November typography.
That's turned out so cute.
Hopefully that's helpful because some people have asked about how they, and then you've got your little pipe cleaner here that you can use to either attach to the metal part of it or tuck underneath the clipboard, depending on how you want it shown. So anyway, that's my tip for this week on our typography club. So we appreciate everyone joining us for Table Talk, and hopefully you've seen some of our tutorials we've been posting. We did the pumpkins and we did the embroidery hoop, so hopefully you've been watching those. And if there's anything you'd like to see us demo or to work on, just let us know. But we will see you next week for Tuesday's Table Talk.